everything's gonna be alright. And when we get there, I'ma see a pretty young thing. I'ma ask her to take my hand, head to the floor, we gon' dance. And when we get there, best believe we're gonna do a two-step. Ain't no drama in here, so don't stress. Step to the right, then side to the left.
Good evening and welcome to the Stephen Knight Show. I hope you're having a great Monday. It is the countdown to Christmas, which means it's the countdown to the Stephen Knight Show Christmas Kindness Giveaway. Now listen, later in the next segment we're going to talk about what we're doing for our Christmas Kindness giveaway. You can go to our website, thestephenknightshow.com. Tonight we're weighing in on all things hot topics. We're talking about the new king of R&B. Who is the new king of R&B? We're talking about just a lot of craziness happening in the world. 45, Stormy Daniels. There was tragically a death on the set of Power. Just a lot of different things talking about, but you want to connect with us. Then we have the latest in movie reviews, sports, and the best indie music out there. Now tonight we're going to be mixing a little bit of holiday music in there, Christmas music, including a song by yours truly. Just to get into the festive spirit of Christmas. This is my favorite time of the year, so I'm all excited about it. Want to remind you all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Instagram, and of course our official website, thestephenknightshow.com. You can also find us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes. Just go to our website, thestephenknightshow.com. Listen, when we come back, hot topics, right back after this.
The mistletoe, I'm gonna get to know you better this Christmas, and as we trim the tree, how much fun it's gonna be together this Christmas. The fireside is blazing bright, we're caroling through the night. And cards are here, my world is full of cheer in you this Christmas. And as I look around, your eyes outshine the town. They do, yeah. This Christmas, the fireside is blazing bright, we're caroling through the night.
banana, you not go home. My baby banana, baby, you not go home. My baby banana, baby, you not go home. If you taste my banana, you not go home. If you taste my banana, you not go home. Oh my baby, my African lady, oh. She's my lady, my beautiful baby, oh. Oh my lady, my African baby, oh. She's my lady, my fine sweetie, oh. See, I get the banana, a sweet, sweet banana. I get the banana, my big, big banana. You will like my banana, titi, sweetie banana. Oh my baby, fun, fun baby, oh eh. Oh my baby, my sweetie baby, oh eh. Oh my baby, my fun, fun baby, oh. So I say, I will give it to you, sucker, sucker. I say sucker, I will give it to you, my sucker, so you will take it, sucker. If you taste my banana, you not go home. If you taste my banana, you not go home. My baby banana, baby, you not go home. My baby banana, baby, you not go home. Opa wile me, opa motika. Oh my jula, oh weje, opa me kalebio. Na jula ya ya ni nale, opa me kalebio. You know that the mono na jula, opa mo breje. Wa opa me kalebio. Wa ye mo dale ma o. Ale nyaze me na mo dale ma pa mo kalebio. Nyamale mo na mo dale ma pa me kalebio. Oh my baby, my African lady, oh. She's my lady, my beautiful baby, oh. Oh my lady, my African baby, oh. She's my lady, my fine, fine sweetie, oh. Sweet, sweet baby. See, I get the banana, a sweet, sweet banana. I get the banana, my big, big banana. You will like my banana, titi, sweetie banana. Oh my baby, fun, fun baby, oh. Yeah, you will it, yeah. Mama will it, ah. Yeah, you will it, you know that I'm your male, ah. Yeah, you will it, ah. No, you will it, yeah, you will it, ah. Male will it, male. If you taste my banana, you not go home. If you taste my banana, you not go home. My baby banana, baby, you not go home. My baby banana, baby, you not go home.
On the beat is Too Flexing.
Hey, yo, peace world. It's the Love King of R&B, Raheem Devon, and you're listening to the Stephen Knight Show. Keep it locked right here. Love life.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Miss Parker, how's it going?
Happy Monday. How are you guys doing?
Doing very well, doing very well. How was your weekend?
It was good. I forgot what I did this weekend. It was busy, but it's really
Yeah,
good.
a lot. We had the Christmas party on Friday.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Yeah. So for those of you listening at home, you know that we are doing the Stephen Knight Show Christmas Kindness giveaway, and we've been raising money. What we're going to do is put some care packages together and pass them out to the homeless community here in Atlanta, Georgia. And so what we decided to do, because we're getting an overwhelming response of people, and we definitely appreciate you, we decided to wait and pass out the gift bags or the care packages to after the holidays, because especially this time of year, people, they do a lot to give out to the homeless and to the less fortunate. And so this way we want to piggyback on that, and it also gives us more time to raise even more money. So we're going to come back in January and do that. We'll announce the date so that if you're local, you want to come out and help support, or you know, if you still want to donate, you still can do that. You can do that via PayPal, thestephenKnightShow@gmail.com, or you can go to our Facebook fundraiser page. But there's a link on our website, thestephenKnightShow.com, and you can still donate that way. But we definitely appreciate what you're doing.
We decided to go ahead and wait and do it in January, probably MLK weekend, which is MLK Day, Dr. King Day is a day of service anyways. So we're going to tie the two together, our Christmas giveaway, Dr. King Day, day of service, serve the community, probably take breakfast down there for them, have care packages together. We just don't want it to be rushed while people are still donating money. It just seems that, instead of turning away money and doing it next weekend, we can collect more money and be able to service more people in January. We do definitely appreciate you guys' help. You guys have been amazing.
Yes.
And we'll definitely look forward to you guys helping us on Dr. King's Day. We'll probably do it on that Monday. I believe we're off work, and a lot of people are off work because it's a national holiday. So we'll probably do it on that Monday during the day, take some breakfast down there, have the care packages done during the weekend, and then that way on Monday everyone can just meet us there and help us out and help pass things out.
Yes, absolutely. So look out for more information on that. But thank you so much for your donations. You keep donating, and we definitely appreciate you. And we look forward to this being a great event to give back to the community. Chike Evans, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I cannot complain. How was your weekend?
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Yeah.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was awesome. It really was.
That's good.
I didn't have to film. I didn't have to do anything. I am in the process of redecorating my apartment, so getting ready for the new year, new furniture, just a whole new redoing of my living space, feng shuiing it.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah. So listen, y'all, we have Christmas is in what, less than 2 weeks, a little bit over 2 weeks. Are you all ready? Are y'all ready for the holidays?
I have about 4 more flights
Right.
before Christmas.
Uh-huh.
So I think once I am settled where I need to be, I will be in the spirit. I definitely am looking forward to hanging out with my family. That's always an amazing time, and that's my favorite part of the holiday. It's really just to be around family. I'm miles away from them. I don't get to just drive over there and hang out with them. So the time spent with them during the holidays is very valuable to me, and I am certainly looking forward to that.
Most definitely. What about you, Chike?
Hell nizzle. So I gave myself a deadline. So next week will probably be, the end of it all for me. I've had a lot going on, with filming and then with actually, working and other projects that I'm involved in, and especially like at the hospital because it is holiday season.
Yeah.
A lot of people, if they can get their surgeries done, before the holiday happens, so they're rushing to get them done. So we've had an influx of patients trying to get in and get out before, Christmas and New Year kicks in well. So we've been busy.
Yeah.
I've been busy.
I can imagine. I can imagine. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm ready to go home, see my family. I won't see all of them, but I'll see my youngest nieces. Well, no, not my youngest anymore. my second to 2 youngest nieces. I'll see them, and my brother and my father and some cousins and aunts and uncles. So that'll be good to do that. And then I'm spending New Year's Eve in New York. It's my first time doing that in New York. I'm not doing the whole Times Square thing, though, because it's be too much. I don't trust it. But I look forward to, to bringing in New Year's and celebrating my family. Well, our question of the day is, if asked, do you always give your honest opinion? Ms. Parker.
Yes, and even when I'm not asked.
I saw you answer that on Facebook. I said, that is so true.
I'm gonna let you know whether or not you want to hear.
Yes. And I don't think.
And I think your answer was pretty on point too. You have this thing where you're so uncomfortable in telling people how things really are. It kind of baffles me. I'm like, it's not a big deal. Let them know.
Well, for me, sometimes this is how brutally honest Ms. Parker is. We were in Chicago 4th of July, and I had been growing my hair out, and so it started getting real long. And so I was in the bathroom. We were getting ready to go somewhere, and you just happened to walk in. You said, "I do not like your hair like that." I
was thinking to myself, did he brush his hair, or is that the way it's just gonna look?
But yeah, no. For me, it depends on what it is. We get people, and there are a lot of people that I know who do music. And they'll send me their music to listen to it to give my honest opinion. I just don't have the heart to say this is not good. You know what I mean? Because there's some that I get that are really good, and there's some that I get that are not good at all. But But I don't have the heart to tell a person that. I don't know why. It's just something. I don't know. Like, could you do that? Could you tell somebody it's not good?
Yes. I've done it to you. I've done it to you. I'm like, I don't like that song.
Right. Could you, Chica?
So, I think that I'm very honest with people. Mm-hmm. However, depending on the information that is needed, there can be a difference in how much of the truth I tell you.
Yeah.
So I can be brutally honest, or I can soft shoe it. You know, I can be really like calm and nice with it. So there's degrees. If I think that, you know, we all have our friends that flirt around with danger, and sometimes they need a swift kick in the butt. In that regard, I have to give you the unmitigated, full-on, 100%, you know, no holds barred.
Right.
Because it could save you.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's not intentional, right?
Right.
So I am a person who kind of like speak out what I'm thinking.
You do.
And I'm like, it's not going to intentional. It's always coming from a good place.
You say what's on your
really
mind.
Like what I'm thinking. Yeah, what I'm thinking. So it's not that I just thought out to the point where I'm trying to hurt someone. So thankfully with me, because the people who are around me feel that it's genuine and it's not meant to be hurtful, a lot of times people just laugh, like, oh, you're crazy, or you're so funny. So it's never really taken like in a bad way.
Right.
So I'm really grateful for that, because it's never my intention to hurt anyone, but I literally say what I'm thinking. When I looked at your hair, I remember thinking, did he brush it? And then it just came out. Like, is that how your hair is?
No, it's so true. It's so true. Well, listen, tweet us at home, Stephen Knight Show, SHO, let us know, if asked, do you always give your honest opinion? All right, let's get into these hot topics. So, everyone knows Kevin Hart was selected to host the 2019 Oscar Awards. Well, apparently back in 2009, 2010, he tweeted some homophobic tweets, pretty much saying that if his son ever said he was gay or something, he'd rather die, or something he said. Anyway, but he's since apologized for that. For years, he's been apologizing for that. You know, he said that he's come a long way. You know, his mind has changed as it relates to that. Well, once it was announced that he was the new host, these comments came up again, and the Academy Awards contacted him and said that he needed to apologize again for them. He refused to apologize and stepped down as the host. Well, a lot of celebrities have come out in his defense, saying that people do evolve over time and people do have a past. Nick Cannon went on Twitter and pulled up old tweets from people like Chelsea Handler, Amy Schumer, Sarah Silverman, and who have done the same thing, used homophobic tweets, and never apologized for it, and their career was not damaged at all. And he said, trying to show the discrepancy here. Now, apparently, the Academy Awards are having a hard time finding a replacement. And they said it really has nothing to do with the backlash over Kevin Hart. It's more so because of how much they pay. They really don't pay you much to do all the work that's required to be the host. Jimmy Kimmel said that when he did it back in 2017, he only was paid $15,000. So it's kind of hard.
What?
So it's kind of hard for them to. That's the reason why a lot of people turn down the gig. So, 2 questions. 1, do you think Kevin Hart should have stepped down? And 2, would you do all that work for $15,000 if you were a celebrity of that caliber?
Well, I think there are 2 separate issues here. So the thing that Nate Cannon brought up is that there have been a past on other celebrities who have made comments, homophobic comments, and were able to host other award shows without the backlash, but they were white, right? Mm-hmm. And then also, I think the second issue, actually there are a few issues. I think the second issue is that the whole movement about gay rights and gay marriage and seeing people of different sexual orientation treated differently, and the way we view them, not just in the black community, but overall as a country, has only changed in the last 10 years.
Right.
That was only made into law when Obama was in office. That's how soon it has been since our paradigm and our perspective about homosexuality has shifted. Mm-hmm. So, there were people before then who thought a certain way. I wasn't the same person. I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago. Right. And that's what Kevin Hart is saying. You have to give people room to grow. You have to give people room to change. You have to allow people the space to be a different person at a different time, a different space in their lives. And the thing with homosexuality, especially in the Black community, it's a paradigm shift that has to happen. So at the time he made that joke, a lot of people believe that.
Right.
That's just how we were brought up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was not to say that it was right, and he has already apologized for that. And I'm not a big Kevin Hart fan. So yeah, I am defending somebody who I don't really even think he's funny. But I think right is right and wrong is wrong. You can't say, okay, well, we're going to change people's minds about certain issues, but then when they do change their mind, you hold the old stuff against them.
Exactly.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, if it was like, for example, if somebody was racist and then it went through a whole shift, and now they want to do different, they want to do better. You can't say, no, it's too late. That just doesn't make sense to me. Mm-hmm. So that's one issue. And then the whole payment thing, the salary thing, I think the reason they're having a hard time is, first of all, it is a lot of work. I heard it's rehearsals.
A lot of work.
Rehearsals.
Yep.
But it's that the time between now and the awards is very short. So
mm-hmm.
Everyone who could possibly host probably already have gigs booked
right.
for more money.
Right.
So who's going to cancel if they're booking for more money to go do that show after all the and I heard it's just a lot of work and it's not worth it.
Yeah, it's more so namesake. Chike, what are your thoughts?
So I'm a little up in arms just simply because I don't like what's happening with artistic freedoms and freedom of speech. I'm a believer, being a minority. I'm a believer that if a person has a feeling and they feel like they want to get something off of their chest, it's your right to say whatever it is that you want to say. Even if it's offensive, just don't ever put your hands on me or inflict violence. You can say whatever it is that you want to say. That's not going to hurt me because that's your opinion. That's what you're entitled to. I think that we're slowly getting into a space where we're changing art because of the sensitivity in our society now. And part of what makes comedians funny is laughing at things. Back in the 70s, Richard Pryor said some things that was highly offensive, but we found it very, very hilarious. And they labeled him one of the greatest comedians that ever lived. We survived it. We're okay. We're all still here. I just think that things are changing and they're putting too much pressure on certain things that I don't think need to have pressure on them. I really don't think that, at least for me, what Kevin Hart said or has said in the past would not weigh anything for me to have him on stage hosting something. It's almost like the same thing with Roseanne. Yes, Roseanne said some things that was horrible. Do I think that they should have squashed the show because of it? No. The show went on, but it's not the same as it used to be. I don't know. I just feel differently about it.
I think for me, the difference between Roseanne is her comments were current. They were today. His were almost a decade ago, and he has since apologized on numerous occasions for that. He apologized to the LGBT community, and he's explained that he has evolved in his way of thinking. And so I think the fact that he's done that, and now people can pull something from his past that is not something that we see a current display of his behavior, and he's being held against for that. I think that's not right. I don't think that's right at all. And
I say all that to say I don't think that he should have apologized because if that's the way he felt when he felt how he felt it, then that's how he felt when he felt it.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Move on. You either hire him or you don't. But I like his disposition. He's not going to apologize, and he's going to back down. And I've always taken the Oprah Winfrey approach. If you don't want me when I want you, then I don't want you. Exactly.
All right, well, listen. Let's take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back after this.
She likes to read books on philosophy. She only eats at small cafes. She questions every single part of me. She makes me better every day. It's not the way she styles her hair or the designer clothes she wears. Her silhouette's one of a kind, but most
most of all, she's got a beautiful mind. She's got a beautiful mind. She's got a beautiful mind. So many girls I see are wild and lovable, but I'm looking for my queen, my Claire Huxtable. The black American dream, it sounds so wonderful. The only thing I need, my Claire Huxtable. My Claire, Claire, my Claire Huxtable. My Claire, Claire, my Claire Huxtable. We'll be in a brownstone and BK, listening to Stevie and Coltrane. I know that she out there for me. Oh yeah, have us a few kids one day, a couple of Lisa, a bone names. I know that she out there for me. Oh yeah, so many girls I see are wild and lovable, but I'm looking for my queen, my Claire Huxtable. American dream sounds so wonderful. Only thing I need, my Claire Huxtable. My Claire, Claire, 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 my Claire Huxtable. In a brownstone and BK, listen to Stevie and Coltrane. I know that she out there for me. Claire Huxtable. Have us a few kids one day, a couple of Lisa, a bone names. I know that she out there for me. Claire Huxtable. So many girls I see are wild and lovable, but I'm looking for my queen, my Claire Huxtable. Black American dream sounds so wonderful. Only thing I need, my Claire Huxtable.
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, all night divine, all night. When Christ was born. All night divine, all night divine. Truly he taught us to love one another. His law is love, and his gospel is peace. Chain shall he break, for the slave is a brother, and in his name all oppression shall cease. Sweet hymns of joy in grateful chorus raise we, let all within us praise his holy name. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, all night divine, all night when Christ was born. All night divine, all night divine. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, all night divine, all night when Christ was born. All night divine, all night
All right, what's going on, y'all? This is Ricardo Grim Hot in the airwaves. Right now, you listening to the Stephen Knight Show. Hey, don't go to sleep without saying your prayer.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. I want to remind you, we're all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Instagram, and of course our official website, thestephennightshow.com. You can also find us on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Just go to our website, thestephennightshow.com. All right, so there's been this new argument over who is the real king of R&B. Now, singer Jaquez, he took to social media over the weekend and said that he is the current king of R&B. He said, I respect those who came before me and who did other things, but in terms of as it stands today, I'm the king of R&B. Now, of course, this has opened up, everyone's coming from everywhere with their opinions. Singers like Tank and Tyrese say no, R. Kelly is the king of R&B. Even Jay Holiday, who sang Bed back in 2007, he says he's the king of R&B. A lot of people are saying, no, it's Chris Brown. He's the king of R&B. Chris Brown actually has the most streams of R&B male artists on Spotify. But what are your thoughts on this? I just saw that Bobby Valentino weighed in and said that he's the king of R&B. Miss Parker, who is
Well, you know what I think? I think they're all a hot mess, okay? Because a lot of these grown men like Tank and Tyrese, they're always in their feelings. I just don't get it. They're always in their feelings. A lot of ego involved in who's who, who's what. I think true confidence is silence. I don't think you have to go out on there and debate anything. If you are the king of R&B, you won't have to say anything because people will just think you're being ridiculous. Everybody else is being ridiculous.
right?
So I think another point also is if a kid is up and coming and he has that much confidence and he says I'm the king, let him have it.
Right.
Let him have his shine. Let him say it. If it's going to help him, it's room for everybody to win. You don't have to go out there arguing. When T.I. was coming up, T.I. had one record on the radio. He called himself the king. People was laughing at him, saying, "What is he talking about? He can't be the king of
the South. Right.
The king of the South."
Uh-huh.
He has one record, laughing at him, making fun of him, but he proved that he actually was an artist that was going to last.
Yep.
So let people win. However they have to win. Let them win, and that's room for everyone. Your fans, by Jarquez saying that he's the king, it's not going to make your fans like him if they like your voice.
Right.
That's
Sure.
the point. I think there's a lot of ego, a lot of old ego, and like that. And somebody posted a lot of grumpy old men arguing about who voice is better. I just think it's ridiculous. But I will say this: real king, like Whitney Houston said, is on the one king in R&B, and it's her man.
The
Bobby
original king of R&B.
The original king of R&B. So y'all better. I don't know what this argument is about. She already said it 20 years ago.
Exactly.
It's already that thing was settled 20 years
Right.
ago.
What was
said,
said?
and it's still said.
What's still being discussed?
Now?
Right.
Still being discussed.
Chike, what are your thoughts?
So, I mean, I understand, Jacquees is part of the millennial generation, and they really, really, really are into him. So I have this thing where I say about certain people when they're really full of themselves that they're drunk. So he's drunk on himself right now, and that's okay because he has the numbers to prove for it. He has the following. Yes, for his time right now, he's very popular. I'm not going to say that he's the king of R&B, but I can see why he feels that way because he has that following. But as long as Stevie Wonder is living and breathing and still making music, how dare any of those people that you mentioned ever open their mouth to say anything about music that they're the king of?
Well said.
If your anthology grows to be as large as his, then we can talk.
I agree. But you know what? You don't see people like him coming out and saying, "No, I'm the king of R&B," because it already speaks for itself. Exactly.
That's why I say he doesn't have to because he's a legend.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, people who are. Have you ever seen a Jay-Z argue with somebody about who's number one?
Right.
I mean, like he's on the best rapper list. He never says anything.
Right.
He's looking like they're crazy, and then they come up with all these lists, and he just going by his business making good music.
Yeah, exactly. Talent speaks for itself.
If you're a legend, you won't have to fight for a spot.
That's true.
So it's just all they're all a little crazy to me. That's really what it is.
Mental. All right. So sad news. A production assistant on the set of Power was hit by an out-of-control SUV and died from his injuries. Now, TMZ confirmed that the NYPD told them that Pedro Jimenez was setting up parking cones for a location shoot in Brooklyn around 4:20 a.m., when he was struck by a 2006 Ford Explorer. Police responded, and Pedro was transported to a Brooklyn hospital where he was pronounced dead. In a heartfelt Instagram post, 50 Cent said sent his prayers and condolences to Pedro's family. Now, 50 is one of the show's executive producers and previously had a starring role on the show. NYPD officials say that they are investigating the incident and have already spoken to the driver of the SUV who struck Pedro. The driver was a 64-year-old man, and he also was a crew member on Power. No arrests have been made. Pedro had worked on the series since its debut in 2014. He was only 63 years old. What do you think that any charges should be filed, or what are your thoughts?
No, I think accidents happen. You can't charge everybody when things like that happen. It's just, it's unfortunate, and definitely our condolences. But it wasn't any malice. No one set out to kill him. It was an accident.
Yeah.
Accidents happen. So no, I don't think so.
Chike, any thoughts?
to my knowledge, I thought that any time that anyone gets killed, even when in an accident, I mean, even if it's down to manslaughter, a charge still has to be brought up. He may never do jail time for it, but that's a charge that has to go on the record books.
Well, yeah, our thoughts are definitely with his family and those who work there on the set. Well, Stormy Daniels, some more allegations coming up against the whole hush money that Michael Cohen paid for Donald Trump to Stormy Daniels for covering up their sex escapade. So she almost walked away from the secret hush money deal with Donald Trump, but Michael Cohen assured her that the deal was solid and all he needed was Trump's approval. This is according to sources connected to the transaction. The Manhattan U.S. attorney has concluded that Donald Trump ordered Cohen to pay Daniels $130,000 in return for her silence over this alleged sexual liaison. Now, the U.S. attorney says that the payment was felonious violation of the campaign finance laws. The source says that Daniels' lawyer and Cohen negotiated the deal she signed in October 2016. Days passed, and Cohen had not put the pen to paper, so he hadn't paid up. Daniels got frustrated and felt like she was being double-crossed, and she wanted to sell her story. Cohen assured Daniels' rep that his signature was forthcoming. Cohen said that the hang-up was his client had been traveling. He was unable to reach him. And they're saying that the client, of course, was Donald Trump. They said that at least one of Daniels' rep recounted the story to FBI over the summer. A lot of people said that Stormy Daniels would be the one to bring down Trump. What do you think?
I don't care who brings him down, as long as he gets brought down.
Exactly. Chica?
I think that it would be very ironic if that would be the case. You know, all the stuff that's looming around him, that his vice, you know, women and sex, would be the thing that actually does him in, as opposed to all the other stuff that's going on with him.
Very true. Very true. Another artist in hot water, TMZ is reporting that Ty Dolla $ign has been hit with 2 felony charges, including possession of cocaine, felony possession of THC. He was also hit with a misdemeanor for allegedly having less than 1 ounce of weed. Now, this all happened in September here in Georgia, Fulton County, where the drug laws are a lot harsher than states like California. Now, if Ty Dolla $ign is convicted, he could face up to 15 years in prison. Ty's arrest scene was pretty dramatic, with drug dogs sniffing around the evidence. The cops even had Ty's entire crew, including Skrillex, exit the limo van so they could search them. The only person arrested was Ty Dolla $ign. What do you think it is with these artists? They hit it big, they're so talented, and then they do stupid stuff like this. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's part of their environment. You know, I think a lot of times with the music that they do, it comes along with an environment that influences that type of music. And when that's all you know, what is reflected in their music is actually their real life.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think it's just, not having the right guidance to move them out of that environment and that mindset and have them thinking bigger and differently. I think that's what it is.
That's true. Chica?
So at one point in time, I did work for an independent record label, and through conversations with Chike Evans, I am in the company of a lot of celebrities, musicians, and that's just the lifestyle of some people. And when you have means and access, it just exacerbates everything. It gets bigger. So I think that it's probably stuff like Ms. Parker said. It's part of their lifestyle. But when you have the resource, the availability, it just increases. And I think that put in certain situations, especially when people know you're a public figure, in certain counties in this great old U.S. of ours, you're a cash cow. Oh, yeah, we're going to take you and punish you and fine you out your mind because we know you have it, and we'll get rich off of you.
Mm-hmm. That's true. All right, well, last story. Michelle Williams is announcing that she's a single woman. Now, if you know you remember her and her ex-fiance, Pastor Chad Johnson, they had a reality show on OWN. Well, they have one on OWN called Chad Loves Michelle, which chronologies their prenuptials. So they're going through premarital counseling and kind of figuring out how their lives will blend together. Chad wants to start his own church, and Michelle supports him in that, but she doesn't know if she could be a first lady because of who she is, Michelle Williams. And so they've been having a lot of other... I'm really not surprised they didn't make it, because if you watch the show, which I started watching it, they seem to clash a lot. Chad was more concerned about Michelle because, right after they were together a year and then they were engaged for 9 months. And right after they got engaged, that's when Michelle had to check into the Rehabilitation Center for Mental Health. And he was more concerned on her getting healthier than her, because she's more concerned on, all right, it's time to get married. And he's like, well, you need to get healthy first before we get married. So it's kind of clashes there. But she took to social media. She said, I still remain fearless. I'm still remain single. Things didn't work out. The healing that needs to take place is a must. I don't want to destroy another relationship. Blessings to him, his family, his ministry. #fearless. Now, Fearless is the title of the new single that she just released as a gospel song. What are your thoughts?
You know what? I started watching the show after I think you discussed the fact that they had some issues with what he said and whatever. I was just curious. So I watched a few episodes of the show, and I actually ended up liking him. I didn't think that I kind of already had some preconceived, like, okay, well, if he said that, he's probably not. But he was really kind and gentle, understanding, and I think I understand where he's coming from, right? Because in my personal life right now, I do a lot of healing, personal healing, right? Mm-hmm. I don't want to be with anybody who is not healthy emotionally, because all of the work that I've done on myself then is voided. So I think for him, he was more concerned about marrying someone who was emotionally healthy, someone who was going to be emotionally, mentally, and spiritually healthy. I think that's the least you do for yourself as a person, and for the person that you're with, is to be held in a relationship so when things come up, no one is broken. Yeah. So I think that's what he was focused on, and I was actually really proud of him, because usually men don't think in those terms. So the fact that he understood that, a lot of things that she was doing was a trigger for him, because his father committed suicide. His father has some mental and emotional issues. Mm-hmm. So he felt like he was attracted to her because of that, and he felt that a lot of things that she was doing was a trigger for him. And he just didn't want to live in hell, because when his father was going through his emotional and mental health issues, he said he was living on the edge every day. Yeah. Wondering when it's going to be the last day, and wondering, if he's going to harm himself. He didn't even live like that. And I have mentally ill people in my family. I understand how draining that relationship can be, and I can't imagine having to live with them day in and day out. I'm not blaming her, but I get where he's coming from, and I totally in understanding of what he needed from her. And I hope I think it's going to take time for her. I think she was doing her best. I think she was working on it. She was actively getting help. She was, yeah. And that's all you can ask. And I hope she continues to do that, whether or not she's with him. Yeah, I agree. Chige?
I agree totally with Ms. Parker. And if anyone remembers with Devon Franklin and Megan Good, he basically told her in the beginning that he didn't want to marry her until she got herself together, because she was in flux about, who she wanted to be in that relationship. And she struggled, too, with her career versus who she was going to be with him as this spiritual figure alongside her husband. So kudos to people that do the work and actually grow and get better. I pray and wish Michelle all the best. Yeah. And this situation was not meant for you. You'll find someone that will be especially for you.
I just feel bad that the show's still in the air and they broke up before the season finale could come on. But yeah, God bless them both, and I hope they both find whatever they need to have that peace. All right. Well, listen, thank you so much for Hot Topics, Ms. Parker. Safe travels this week, and I will talk to you next week.
All right. I talk to you later.
All right.
Have a great week.
You too.
Happy holidays, Ms. Parker.
Thanks. Same to you, hon.
Right back after this.
Music machine. Lyrics. This that thing right here, K. Yeah, boy. Word. Look. Do you think?
Look, the product of housing tenements. Try blending with the innocent. Yeah. It's to the moon like we chasing stars. Drinks in the air, we about to raise the bar. High Valerian can speak it, then can eat with us. Dwayne Martin, these niggas is just some seat fillers. Teach, level up there, see the growth. Cryptocurrency, bitcoins to who need the most. Look, was quick to want squeeze the toast. These days, got my bread till I see a loaf. Greedy, couple plates, we gon' eat the most. Point game, if we trail, at least we keep it close. Sipping toast, sipping in moderation. It was written in a proclamation. My obligation to the fairest the will. Give food for thought till they cherish the meal. Swerving and pill. Chicks, notice the squad. I ain't talking foreign exchange when I study abroad. Know the facade. Got us lunching up an Olive Garden. Talking about portfolios and profit margins. We done finally reached the pinnacle. Without compromising the principles. Life good, overseas, different interviews. Back then, used to do it for the minimal. We done finally reached the pinnacle. Without compromising the principles. Life good, overseas, different interviews. Back then, used to do it for the minimal. Deep slumber, sleep till we see numbers. In a vision, seen it like Steve Wonder. Each summer hit a monetary apex. Lifestyle's much more than having safe sex. Strategic talks, dudes who don't pay chess. That's starving, only getting a taste test. Hood the thesaurus, finish wines imported. Learn the game from ballers that stay scoreless. Rap we paint portraits. Spitting riddles like we socially awkward. Pyrex jaws to the corporate office. Catapulted movements was flawless. We about to take a sabbatical. Got the brand, the crown's just collateral. We patrolling different avenues. Life's a bitch, used to wanna marry you. Look, it's kinda hard to think practical. Think it's simple to new rational. Lack of aptitude, now me down the Georgia Shore. Authoritative, if you spill it, then it's word we law. Coded language, shit you never heard before. Verbal onslaught, like, what do you wanna hurt me for? Dig, I'm a lyrical enthusiast. Mumble rap, me these niggas with a crucifix. We used to listen with exuberance. Think they bars coming from a lack of tutelage. Throwing jabs like a pugilist. Not the best, I suggest you go review your list. We done finally reached the pinnacle. Without compromising the principles. Life good, overseas, different interviews. Back then, used to do it for the minimal. We done finally reached the pinnacle. Without compromising the principles. Life good, overseas, different interviews. Back then, used to do it for the minimal.
We're finally here.
Talk to him, K.
We're finally here.
Boy, lyrics, man. K Black the music and shit.
We're finally here.
Feeling this.
We're finally here.
Oh yeah.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Yuletide carols being sung by a choir. Folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe. Oh yeah, help to make the season bright. Oh, tiny tots with their eyes on the glow will find it hard to see tonight. They know that
This is Janera, and you're listening to The Stephen Knight Show.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Adam, how's it going?
It's going very well, Steven. How's it going with you?
Cannot complain. Christmas is coming up. Are you ready?
I think so. You know, it's kind of this month is going faster than I thought, but yeah, I think I'll be ready.
Okay, perfect. All right, well, I'll let you and Chike take it away with movie reviews.
All right, so I saw this weekend the Green Book, and it's been out for a few weeks, but for those unfamiliar with it, it follows the story, and I would say more based on, as the movie calls it, based on true events or inspired by true events. But it bases the story of two real people, Don Shirley and Tony Vallelonga, as someone who's the couple that are going down to the Deep South. And Marshall Ali plays Don Shirley, and he's a artist, pianist that has a trio, and he wants to do a tour down in the South. And Viggo Mortensen plays Tony, and he's an American bouncer that kind of comes in and is his chauffeur and works for him and the record label. And the movie is called The Green Book, focusing on the famous Green Book, which was created in the mid-20th century. It's a guidebook for African-American travelers, for anyone unaware, to help them find hotels, restaurants that would accept them. This movie I liked a lot, and I will say it is called Green Book only in name for the most part. I think what the producers and the director had was a really good story, and they wanted to find a way to kind of give it a label or something. You get very little of actual Green Book material, but you really get a great story and great performances by Mortensen and Ali on these two characters. And it is directed by Peter Farrelly, and if you know the Farrelly brothers, this is one of them. So this movie was definitely a lot funnier than I thought it was going to be. It's definitely also more of a kind of glossed over fun, not fun, I guess, but the fun moments, but more of a, I guess, Hollywood version of the Deep South during this time period. So you never feel like your characters are really in trouble. You don't really get the fear that people during this time period really did feel in the South. But overall, it's still a really good story, and I think Morrison and Ali, again, they're breakout performances. They're both solid actors in their own rights, and this movie is definitely continuing. Did I lose you?
Yeah, I think we lost you. All right. You were saying this movie is definitely something.
Oh, this movie is definitely a great movie and worth watching.
Awesome.
So I have a question. So I guess from watching the trailer, what I got from the trailer was that this was going to be a drama-filled, driven, maybe Oscar contender movie. No?
So it might still be an Oscar contender, but I agree. In the trailer I thought it was going to be one of those like moving, kind of felt like Detroit that came out earlier, one of those kind of serious movies, and they really take it in a different direction in the sense that Viggo's kind of the uneducated Italian guy that is uncivilized around the world and a little rough around the edges. Marshall Ali is more of the educated composer, musician who really is helping them in the kind of, it's one of those odd couple situations. And for Oscars, I'm not sure, but the performances alone should at least get them some nominations because, again, it was a surprise. It's not a deep drama as you would think, and there are some funny moments. And it's really enjoyable the whole time.
Okay. So I saw The Possession of Hannah Grace, and this movie was actually released on November 30th. Honestly, I had no idea that this movie came out. I found it by accident. And I went to go check it out. It stars Shay Mitchell, Stana Katic, and Gray Damon. The story is basically about the exorcism of a young girl, and the exorcism goes wrong and the girl actually dies. And I won't tell you how she dies, but she dies, and her body is taken to the morgue, and a new employee at the morgue has to document, fingerprint, and examine the body. And I'll just say that the demon is still within the body. And it was interesting. It's not great. It was interesting. I would even say it was good, not movie good. We were a little starved for a horror movie after Halloween. This was okay. It wasn't great. It was $11,502,000. People like it, but it wasn't that great to me. It wasn't something standout. It damn sure was no Exorcist. So if you're into horror, I say you can wait until it makes the cable circuit or the red box or Netflix. You can wait for it. You don't necessarily have to run to the theater to get it. But I do applaud them for making an attempt at something. Yeah, that's where I'm at on that. But I was really excited to screen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which stars Shameik Moore. And if you don't know who Shameik is, if you saw the movie Dope, Shameik was the lead character in Dope, and he also starred in that Netflix series To Get Down. He was Puma. He played Puma. This is based off of the Miles Morales comic book, which is another universe of Spider-Man, which Miles Morales is a Hispanic Spider-Man, which I think is so great. And in the movie, the character, he meets Peter Parker, and like Peter Parker, he is bitten by a spider, and he also is blessed with spider powers. And he has to defeat Kingpin. And if you know anything about the Spider-Man storyline, Kingpin is one of Spider-Man's nemesis. And in this movie, Kingpin is banishing all Spider-Men or Spider-Women to parallel universes and dimensions. And they get together to try to defeat Kingpin. I've been waiting for a full-length animated feature from Marvel to be in the theater for the longest time. I could not be more happier to have this. I think that they should take a stab at doing an X-Men movie this way, because I really, really enjoy it. I think the bounds of creativity are greater when you have animation, because there's nothing that you can't do in animation. I think the budget is cheaper than trying to do live action with all of the effects and everything that you would need to do. I just thoroughly enjoyed it. So definitely take your children. It comes out December 14th. Take children, take yourself. Anybody that's into Marvel and loves Spider-Man, you definitely will love this movie. This movie has no earnings yet because it's not out yet, so I can't give you the box office for it. But definitely check it out, and you'll learn more about Spider-Man and the whole Spider-Man universe. Yeah.
All right. Anything coming down the pipeline?
I'm going to go see Aquaman on Saturday.
Oh, that's this weekend? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. That's the only thing I have on my list right now that I want to see immediately. There is this movie coming up on Netflix with Sandra Bullock that I'm looking forward to. It comes out actually, I think, next week.
Okay.
I forget the name of it, Bird something. But it's about a virus that people have, but if you're blindfolded, it doesn't affect you. Like if you can't see, then it doesn't affect you. It's really, really strange, but really compelling at the same time. And, I always get intrigued when certain actors or actresses agree to do projects, because that tells me something. Either they're producing it or they're connected to it somehow that makes them driven to do it. Sandra Bullock is an A-class actress, so if she's doing a original Netflix movie, it has to be something with it. So I'm definitely going to check it out.
That is true.
And I've mentioned on Amazon Prime, Julia Roberts' Homecoming.
Yeah.
And I saw that she was nominated for a couple of Golden Globes. I cannot tell people, please check this series out. It really is. I believe that they're trying to send you a message as it relates to what's going on with our military and our soldiers, and why we have post-traumatic stress disorder the way that we do in our veterans. Check it out. Please check it out. It's very, very good.
I've been waiting to see that,
I
but
can't
I
wait
haven't
to
yet.
next
Yeah. I
check it
saw
out.
that movie on Netflix last week with Halle Berry. It's the one following the LA riots at the Rodney King.
Yeah.
What movie was that
Yeah.
called?
Oh, I forget the
I
name of
forgot
it.
what it was called. It was a weird movie. It was good. It was good, but it was weird. It was weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I believe since Holly has won the Oscar, she has definitely been picking some to the left project. Yeah. They've been very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say bad, but they've just been interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think we lost Adam, but Chike, as always, thank you and Adam for letting us know what to spend our money on, what not to. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week.
Thank you.
All right. Right back after this.
Oh my God.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's the First Lady Faith Evans, and you're listening to the Stephen Knight Show.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Aaron Cosby. How's it going?
Stevie K. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Countdown to Christmas. You ready?
Yes. Can't wait.
So I know last time you talked, you had finals.
Yes, and finals went well. I passed all my classes.
Congratulations.
I got some great grades, and I'm looking forward to next semester.
Good. Congratulations.
Thank you. Now, I'm excited for the people of Georgia.
Oh yeah. We finally got a win.
Finally, a football team that can actually win the championship game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It took a football team who's only been in existence for 2 years.
Right. Exactly.
2 years, y'all. They've only been in existence for 2 years. I'm talking about the football team spelled F-U-T-B-O-L, just in case y'all don't know who we're
Soccer.
talking about. The Atlanta United, the Major League Soccer team in Atlanta, won the Major League Cup. They won the MLS Cup. So
Yes, they did.
Congratulations. They beat the Portland Timbers.
2-0. 2-0.
2-0. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like they shut it down. They were the best team this year.
Yeah.
By far, the Atlanta United were the best team in Major League Soccer, and they played like it.
Yeah.
There you go. They took care of business.
Yeah,
No 28-3 jokes here.
No 28-3. They
Bruh, I'm telling you, for a second there, I'm like, okay, watch they blow this league. Watch they blow this league.
Because you're just so used to it here.
Okay. You know, right. And even I was on Twitter, man, looking, and people were they were tight.
Mm-hmm.
Most were at the sports bars at Atlanta. Well, just in Georgia, period. You know, Atlanta,
right.
The Atlanta area, Georgia, whatever. You know, and because the soccer team there is really Georgia's team. I mean, it's in Atlanta, but
right.
the state, really was rooting for their team.
Exactly.
And the fact that they also have the colors of the Falcons and the University of Georgia, that black and red. So
right.
People were nervous. You can feel it even on social media. They were like, "Okay, it's not going to happen. Watch we lose this game. Watch it be 3-2.
Exactly.
We're going to lose." And it's just that mindset that people in Georgia still have with regards to their sports teams. Like they just feel like they are just not like that they're good enough, but that they'll do something to mess it up. And thank goodness
they did not. Yeah, they had the festival or the parade here today, and it was rainy. It was cold. But they were still out there. That's all I mean. When I turned on the news this morning, that's all they were talking about. Telling people to be mindful of the traffic. Because it was going to be crazy.
Okay. So a parade on a Monday. Okay.
That's what I thought. Wow, that's what I was thinking. Why on a Monday?
It be on a Monday?
I thought the exact same thing. But yeah, they had the parade this morning at 10 o'clock, and they kind of went through downtown area, Centennial Park, and all that. But I didn't have to deal with the traffic. So
I mean, good for the championship. But month? Okay.
Right.
Hey, congratulations! Finally, right. Thank you, Atlanta United.
Exactly. Thank you, Atlanta United.
Thank you, Atlanta United. Now, Falcons, take notes.
Right, because they lost.
UGA, take notes. Yes, because of course. I mean, come on, it's the Falcons. They got that whoop. Man. Like Green Bay, who's not a good team. I mean, Green Bay sucks also, but they
34-20. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to say the score because it was crazy. And let me just say this though, the fourth quarter, it was already over, and kind of like Green Bay kind of let them score, let the Falcons score a couple of little points here. And, it was the score was not indicative of
the game. Yeah,
it was horrible. So don't let the 34. I think was it 20-34 was the final score.
Yeah. And they only scored. The Falcons only scored in the first and fourth quarters.
Yeah. And the the Packers did not score in the fourth quarter.
In the fourth, right?
Still won by 14 or 15
Right.
points. So that tells you right,
Right.
there. Yeah, it was over. Yeah. So Falcons up 28-3. 28-3. So we now know who the 4 college football teams are that are going to be playing for in the playoffs, in the college football playoffs. We have Alabama is ranked number 1. Clemson is ranked number 2. Notre Dame is ranked number 3, and Oklahoma is ranked number 4. And there are some people that are upset with this because they feel that Georgia should be in the top 4.
Georgia was
They think
5.
that Georgia should,
Yeah.
yeah. Georgia's 5th, I believe. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And people are upset. People feel that Georgia is the 4th best team in the country, and that they should be in the playoffs.
What do you think?
feel about that?
What do you
I'll
think?
ask-
Oh. I'll let you take the lead on
I
that.
ask you first.
I'll let you take the lead because I haven't been following them.
Okay, so here's okay.
They're 11-2 overall.
They're 11-2 overall.
Uh-huh.
But they lost their conference game.
Right.
with Alabama, Oklahoma, who I believe is 11-1 or 12. Like they've only
12-1.
lost one game.
Yeah, and they won more.
They won their championship game.
Mhm.
And even if Oklahoma's lost 2 games, let's say that Oklahoma and Georgia both only lost 2 games.
Okay.
People feel, not everybody, but there are a lot of Georgia fans and other fans that feel that Georgia is the better team than Oklahoma. And the reason being is because they believe that the SEC is the best college football conference in the country, and that Oklahoma plays in a much weaker conference.
Okay.
And that having Georgia in the playoffs because if Georgia was in it, being ranked 4th, they would play Alabama.
Right.
And so people really just want to see Georgia in.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Again. That's what it is. That's what it is. Which I don't blame them because it was a great game.
Mhm.
And people feel, including myself, that Oklahoma is not any competition for Alabama, and that it's going to be a cakewalk.
Right. Yeah.
It probably will be. Oklahoma is not that good. In my opinion, they're not. They're solid, but I don't feel that they are a championship caliber team because they're one of those teams that's good in the regular season, but they really don't play any heavy competition.
Right.
And then once it comes to the bowl season, then they end up losing their bowl.
They're just wasting space.
Yeah, so I get it. Now, what are your thoughts? Do you think Georgia is better than Oklahoma?
Well, I think if Oklahoma's playing easy teams and Georgia's playing more, it's more of a, they're playing those tougher teams. I can see why they would say it, but for me, the numbers don't lie. If Oklahoma has won more games and lost less games, they should be better. They should be ranked higher, in my thoughts.
Okay. But then, and so now here is another argument because the University of Central Florida is undefeated.
Oh.
They're undefeated.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I believe they're ranked 7th. Like they're in the top 10, and they are the only undefeated team.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
So people are like, well, why can't they be in the playoffs? They are undefeated.
That makes sense.
Then the argument is that but they play in a non-Power 5 conference.
Yeah. Yeah.
So their competition's not up to the level of an SEC or a Big
Right.
10
Yeah. So it's
or a Big 12. So if they're winning those games in their conference, that's great. But if they were to play in the SEC would
Yeah.
still be undefeated.
That makes sense. That does make a lot of sense.
Probably not.
Right.
Yeah, probably not. But you never know. But it's more likely that they would not be undefeated. So that's the argument as to why they're not
Okay.
in the playoffs. So,
I got you.
Yeah. So the whole losing one game, losing two games, nah. Because again, there are teams that are undefeated who are
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's true.
So,
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I think the reason that Georgia's not in it is because Georgia did not win their championship game. Although, if you recall, was it last year when Alabama lost to Georgia in the SEC championship game?
Mm-hmm.
But Alabama was became ranked fourth, and they were in the playoffs, even though they lost their championship game. Yeah, because Georgia was the number one ranked team.
Uh-huh.
Once Georgia beat Alabama in the SEC championship game, Georgia became number one, and Alabama was number four. And then that's when Georgia and Alabama played in the national championship game.
Okay, I got you.
And then we know what happened with Alabama.
Right.
Yeah. But it was a great game.
Right.
Great game.
Yeah.
Great game. Okay. So
all right.
We'll see what happens. But yeah, it is what it is. Georgia, step up next year. Step up so that y'all win these games.
Y'all get up in there.
So
yeah.
that there's no question.
Right.
No question.
Right.
No question. Win. Finish up. All right. I know I'm a few weeks late with regards to what I'm about to say, but I had heard about it. I didn't watch the game, but I saw a video of it. And brother, when I tell you that if I was eating food at the time that I watched that, I would have probably threw up.
What happened?
Did you see the video of Alex Smith's leg breaking?
I heard about it. I didn't see it. No.
Redskins?
I heard about it. I didn't see it.
Oh my God.
It was that bad?
Dude, it was just the thought of it. Oh my gosh. Ooh.
Wow.
I don't think he's ever going to play football again. Like, this man needs to, not him personally, but his focus should not even be on football. It should be on being able to actually walk again.
Right.
It was that bad, Steve. Like, his leg, it's like a twig. Like how you would just break a twig. His leg was just totally clean, just broke.
Ouch.
Not splintered. It's not for it is broke.
Right.
It's like it was just dangling. It was dangling. So.
Wow.
Yeah. Alex Smith, brother, please, God bless you. I wish you a speedy recovery, but a full and complete recovery, and just focus on your health, man. Football can take a backseat. It's not that important. It's really not. It's not when it comes to quality of life and your kids and your wife and everything and moving forward. Like it's do not rush to get back on the field next season. Do not.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah. The Baltimore Ravens, man, they played the Kansas City Chiefs yesterday.
Did they win?
Nope. But it was a great game, though. They had the game. They were actually winning. Like the last minute of the fourth quarter, they had the lead, and their defense let them down. They had Kansas City at two fourth down situations, and both times Kansas City was able to get a first down. And
wow.
The second time that they got the first down on the fourth down situation, they scored a touchdown, and then they kicked the extra point, and it went to overtime, and Baltimore lost by 3 points in overtime. But it was a great game, and it shows teams how to play against Kansas City.
Right, yeah.
And how to beat them. Because if Baltimore could do it, then other teams can definitely do it also. The Patriots lost. Did you see that Trey play at the end?
I didn't see it.
Did you hear about it?
No, tell us about it real quick. We got to wrap up soon.
Okay, really quick. Okay, got you. Just gonna rush me? Okay, all right, no problem. Okay.
Go ahead.
Patriots lost to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. The end. It was 2 seconds left in the game. The Patriots were up, I believe, by 5 points. Everybody pretty much thought that it was over, and Miami was doing laterals, and you know what those are, right? Is when you have the football and you're the offensive team and you throw the football back to your teammate.
Right.
You can't throw it forward, but you can throw it back. Whatever.
Right.
So one of the players threw the lateral to his teammate, and he, did like a little shimmy in the middle of the field and had a couple of really good blocks, and he ran in and he scored a touchdown.
Wow.
They beat the Patriots by a point.
Wow. I bet the crowd went crazy.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time. So, Dolphins, thank you. Thank you, Dolphins.
All right, Aaron.
Last but not least, one last thing. Rams lost to the Bears. The Bears' offensive line is ridiculous. Some of the biggest guys that I've ever seen on an offensive line. Like, they are big and quick and athletic. So, congratulations, Bears. Rams, great job also. You came up short, but still.
Still playing. Right.
All right. That's all I got, man.
All right, Aaron. Well, as always, appreciate you for keeping us in the know, and have a great week, okay?
You too.
All right. Yes. Right back after this.
Doctor
It's been a long time coming out. I overcame all the drama now. I'm going strong on my bounce back. My setback got me on track. Now every day it's a new task. Face my fears covered up underneath the mask. I had to ease my mind from the crazy shit, adjusted for the perfect fit. Scars from my past, but surrounded with the counterfeit. All I need in this life is me. No stress, no pain, feel free. Look around, up and down, can't you see? All I need is me. Let me catch the grips, control my attitude, let me lock my lips. And when they pop the clips, I push the anchor down, then I rock the ship. Yo, I been smoking steady, tripping, get the sipping. Told them, listen, I ain't ready for the petty. When I dodge it, I stay ready. Fatal humble, keep it heavy, stay low key. Call me shady, I ain't with it. Tell them critics, I ain't with it. It was kinda hard for me to see. Dreaded pain, turn to misery. Lack of love in the families. Jealousy from my enemies. I had to keep it going. Shoulder weight maxed out, keep it flowing. Then I rise above it. Bragging rights, longer nights, I put nothing for it. Chook. All I need in this life is me. No stress, no pain, feel free. Look around, up and down, can't you see? All I need is me. All I need in this life is me. No stress, no pain, feel free. Look around, up and down, can't you see? All I need is me. Yeah. All I need is. Ain't nobody out here living for me. 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 This recovery.
This is Miss Parker, and you're listening to the Stevie Knight Show.
It's that time again, family and friends. Christmas time is here, my favorite time of the year. Laughter all around, people gather round to see each other smile. Because it's Christmas time again, a new year soon will begin. Put all your troubles away. This is the season love will bring. Merry Christmas, season of love. Together as one, it's true. Wishing Merry Christmas to you. Deck the halls with bells, children playing around, but we can't forget the reason for the season. Christ was born that day in Bethlehem, and today he still reigns. Because it's Christmas time again, a new year soon will begin. Put all your troubles away. This is the season love will bring. Merry Christmas, season of love. Together as one, it's true. Wishing Merry Christmas to you. So I'll sing joy to the world.
What's up, y'all? We are June's Diary, and you're listening to The Stephen Knight Show.
Well, listen, that's our show. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week, and we'll talk again next Monday. Have a great night. Good night.
Tonight is all eyes on me. Everything